racial injustices, especially police brutality. And I want to know what each of you plan to do, if anything, to ensure that police who crossed a line are held accountable specifically and more generally to address systemic racism in the police force. I think this one goes to Mr. Stapleton-Smith.
So before the broadcast began, we had a brief chat about that with our panelists here, and I think there's three things that have to happen. One is that we acknowledge always, everywhere, that racism is indeed real. It is extant. It does have a terrible effect, not only in people's lives as individuals, but on our economy, throughout all of the institutions that we attempt to maintain for our collective benefit. Two, when it comes to cops, being quite specific, Hank, because I like how you do that. You always go for with specificity. Qualified immunity for police officers? No, that has to be taken away. That has to be stripped out. Any other person going to work that commits a crime, any other person that goes to work and commits a crime doesn't get qualified immunity, right? That's not democracy. What is that? That's a protection racket. That goes away. Also, I want to know that every single misconduct, every single finding, every single disciplinary action that a law enforcement officer who's carrying a gun, who has the ability to take our liberty away from us, right? That always remains on the record and is transparent and accessible to the people who pay them. That's us. That's us. No more can we have somebody who is disciplined or suspended or terminated, and then they just skip across the county line to another department, or they go off to North Carolina and everything's fun and they get to start over again. We've seen such tremendous brutality on the part of so many law enforcement agencies across this country. It's like they tripled down confronting peaceful protesters who are protesting the very existence of that brutality, right, which is emblematic of, indeed, racism. And so those three things, that we always call that out, that we always identify that it is there. Two, qualified immunity goes away. Three, that the transparency for those officers in terms of infractions or punishments or dismissals or other sanctions, that those remain on the records, is always there. And then I suppose I lied. The last one is we have to take a look at every single law enforcement budget and make sure that we're not sending somebody with a gun and a badge and an attitude to take care of something that a mental health expert or a medical expert should be doing. And that's a big question, but I'm very grateful to get to answer that.
4-point plan. I like it.